It's been a year of gutsy passes and outright dominance for defending series champion Walker Fowler. But the excitement of the series powers through the last race. More mudslinging, more jumping, more action. Next on NBCSN. It's the Amsoil Ironman Gncc, the final round of the 2017 Amsoil Grand National Cross Country Series, sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association, presented by Maxxis. I'm Jason Wygant, and those are the famous Gncc mud fleas. They always gather at the base of the famous Ironman Hill. A water crossing, some mud, and then a steep hill climb. Going to make the racing fun today. Here's a race recap of the previous round. Amsoil bringing you the highlights from Powerline Park in St. Clairsville, Ohio. Walker Fowler, you're now three-time Gncc champ, the whole shot in perfect conditions for racing. Little dusty in the fields, but perfect in the woods. Applying the pressure to Fowler, the sneaky snake, Jared McClure, who likes to lurk back here and then wait to the latter stages of the race to attack. Although he didn't wait very long today, into this wild jump section, the fans get a look at McClure in the number one spot, overtaking Fowler. And here's the jump. And just like today's hill climb, the fans always find the good stuff at a cross-country race. Fowler would be able to retake the measure of McClure, get the lead, and then pull away. And contrast this section with that dusty field where they started in the race, and you can see how dynamic a rider has to be to win one of these races, let alone the championship. Back up top on dry and high ground, Fowler wins again. He's won all but one race this year. And with 11 total wins, that is a new single-season record. Here's your Rocky Mountain ATV MC results. Good to see Boric and Neal on the podium. They push McClure off of it. Walker Fowler, 11 wins. That's already a new mark.
It's just really cool that there's, not more than one name. So these guys behind me and, even the motorcycle guys. I know Caleb's going to have a little hunger coming in now that we got that record. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's just exciting to have something with my name on it for people to strive for in the future.
Well, what he could strive for is win number 12 today to further push that single-season win record out. And we are underway. And how about this? Fowler's going to grab the whole shot. That's the one thing we had not seen a ton of from him through the years, but he has picked up the game, even fist-pumping to celebrate. Weisco whole shot award, and Fowler is off and running. Marty Christopherson in the number 8 is second. And I mentioned in the highlights of our last race from Ohio how dynamic these tracks are. This is motocross-type terrain here in Indiana. They have a full-level national motocross track here. Host a final round of the Pro Motocross Championship. Host a round of the ATV Motocross Championship as well. So both bikes and ATVs churn laps here. But this is relatively easy stuff for these guys. Get warmed up in moto and then head into the woods, and it's going to get flat, nasty. And that's exactly what Fowler is to the competition right now, getting away from them. And here we go now into the woods. And only in Gncc racing would the fans not gather on a motocross track, but instead they'd rather watch this. And you can hear them hooting and hollering, getting ready. Bryce and Neal coming up in third. A pair of Suzuki's Chris Boric, Wesley Wolf, and Adam McGill is going to be a contender today. He always is. But Fowler quickly rolling away today, and that is a contrast to some of his other wins this year, which came in dramatic fashion. So let's review some of his greatest hits this year. Started off in Georgia. There's Adam McGill leading, but as they exit this water crossing, watch Fowler. He will find a line no one else does on the right side and quickly move from fourth to second. On the very next lap, he'd take the lead and the win. Watch this. That's not an easy ditch to get over. He risked the entire race right there, but he made it happen. Now, his greatest escape was this at the John Penton Gncc in Ohio. That stick trapped the squad. Had to work hard to get that thing out with the help of some fans on the side of the track. And once he was going, you see the green number plates on these other machines? That's the XC2 class. That is row 2. He had to pass every single XC1 Pro rider to get to the lead. But he would eventually do just that with some very aggressive riding. And the Rogers, Ohio native probably using a little bit of advantage. With the slippery conditions, he knows how to get through, and the other riders having problems. Chris Borich here stuck, and Fowler making his grand escape. After he got stuck with the stick, he ends up putting the big whipping stick to them and wins the race. He would say afterwards that was the most impressive victory of his career. And now the 3-time and once again GNCC champ leading McClure, who's climbed up to second. Back into the high-speed stuff. And the riders love the dirt here in these open sections at the Ironman. And since these machines are set up to race primarily in the tight woods and over the obstacles, a lot of the riders don't necessarily like these high-speed field sections, but this track is the exception because that dirt is so good, so much traction, and it's really fun. It's a new thing here, the little bridge over the water crossing. The Shaver family that owns this property here about an hour west of Indianapolis, always putting in some resources to make this track, in the eyes of many, the best on the circuit. Stay with us.
When it comes to guarding your diesel engine, Amsoil offers the next level performance you demand. Amsoil Signature Series diesel oils provide 6 times more wear protection than required by a leading diesel engine manufacturer. Give your hard-working truck the protection it deserves. Amsoil, devoted to protection. See the whole line of diesel products at amsoil.com/diesel.
As riders and racers, we understand the need to get quality parts, apparel, and accessories fast. We have the horsepower of multiple warehouses to make sure your gear, OEM parts, or accessories make it to your door quickly. Check out our easy-to-use website and experience customer service that takes the whole shot. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Here he is, Walker Fowler, Grand National Cross Country XC1 Pro Class champion.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by Amsoil. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
It might be a little chilly at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning in the fall, but that doesn't stop the future of the Grand National Cross Country Series from getting out there and showing everybody what they have, and also learning a lot as they head toward the full-size ATV ranks and maybe even professional careers someday. Yes, Walker Fowler did win races in this class in a championship when he was younger. Today's race winner, Lane McCormick, topping the Super Mini 12 to 15 class.
I'm so happy with this season right now. I've been consistent. The quad's hung up with me. It's got a good beating this year, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of myself.
Oh, that's what it's all about there. Congrats to Lane, and something to be proud of if you're Walker Fowler, leading the way here at the Ironman, trying to get a record-breaking 12th win in 13 races this year. And I might mention, the only race he didn't win, he finished a close second to his buddy Johnny Gallagher. And that was a really tough day in the mud. So don't let these motocross conditions here in Indiana fool you. These races are as difficult as anything else on the planet. And these riders are headed back into the woods to experience that once again. Jared McClure, who's been providing some pressure for Fowler in second. Should be Adam McGill coming through in third. Yes, he is. So as these riders head into the woods and have to deal with the very diverse terrain here at the Ironman GNCC, we'll show you some other highlights from throughout the season. Yes, here are the tough conditions. It starts in Florida in the swamps, big hill climb at the Cannonball in Georgia, the Pine Tree sections at Steel Creek, And occasionally it's just a full-on mutter like the X Factor in Indiana. Actually delayed the race by a couple weeks to avoid the rain, and then they just got rain again anyway. Then there's the snowshoe GNCC. Even under the best of conditions, parts of that track are nearly impassable, but the fans absolutely love it. This is a beautiful ski resort in the mountains of West Virginia, and the fans, well, they don't care about the Starbucks up at the top of the hill. They like watching the mud. Now, how about this for tough? Bryson Neal breaks one of the wheels off of his machine, but he's able to nurse it all the way to the finish line. The fans can help him get there, but once he's at the line, he's got to push it across himself. He was exhausted, he was tired, but he made it happen. Then, of course, the mud jump that you saw from our last race in Ohio. GNCC racing equal parts tough and fun. And a great example here is Fowler weaves his way through the crowd, through the water, and to the top of Ironman Hill. Now, the fans love seeing the pros come through and attacking these things at speed. But if we put the lie detector to them as we see McGill moving up to second, the real truth is they want to see some of the amateur riders get stuck on that hill, flip, crash, whatever it takes. And that's one of the cool things about this type of racing. The pros take off on row one. They show you the absolute best way you can do it. But then there's a lot of amateurs out there. Nearly 2,500 riders on ATVs and bikes and side-by-side UTVs will compete throughout the weekend. And they're all different levels of talent, skill, speed, age, experience. So if you come to one of these races as a spectator, you're going to truly see the entire spectrum of ATV side-by-side and dirt bike racing. And what you're seeing right now is Adam McGill. Pedal to the metal time. McGill going after Walker Fowler, and they have stretched it out a bit over Jared McClure. Now, McClure's okay back here in third. He usually lurks in these types of positions, podium or top five, until late in the race. And then the sneaky snake, as they call him, gets right back into the mix. Wesley Wolf in fourth, making the Suzuki look good, one of the young talents of the series. And then Chris Borich, the veteran, and the all-time leader in ATV race wins in GNCC. So a nice little tangle with the old and the new there. Don't tell Borich I just called him old. He's certainly still capable. And we remember when Chris Borich was the young gun challenging for this championship, as we do remember Walker Fowler doing the same. But now he's at the peak of his powers and able to extend it just a bit from his old rival, McGill. And as expected, McClure hanging right there on the JMR Racing ATVRiders.com machine. That's the way he likes to play it. And the battling Suzukis here of Wolf and Borich. And the way these two are pushing each other, I would not be surprised if they could bridge the gap and get to McClure and McGill, second and third, and make it a four-rider chase pack behind Fowler. Oh, not behind Fowler anymore. Adam McGill has taken over the lead. So the plot thickens here at the final round of the season. Can McGill get his first victory of the season? And what about McClure? He's right in as well.
GNCC is Old Eagles, 50 cal, cowboy boots, diesel trucks, Copenhagen, Bush Light kind of men.
Evans waterless coolant is the solution to boiling over, so you can push your vehicle like this, and this, and this, without fearing the temperature gauge. Evans waterless coolant. Defeat the heat.
Hey guys, I'm Tim Geiser riding for Honda Garibaldi Racing Team, and we are using Evans cooling, and I know that when I use that products, I know that my bike never will overheat, so I'm really happy with it.
Are you looking for a dirt bike piston that can increase power and decrease blow-by? Then check out Wiseco's all-new Racer Elite piston line. Racer Elite has been used exclusively by the pros, including RCH, Yoshimura, Suzuki Factory Racing, and are now accessible to the public. Available for popular 250 and 450cc dirt bikes, the Racer Elite series is the first off-the-shelf asymmetrical power sports piston ever made. Its fully machined billet aluminum construction features an exclusive custom lap top ring. Step up with dyno-proven power gains with Wiseco's Racer Elite piston line.
We're back. This is Ironman Hill at the Ironman Grand National Cross Country Race. The fans are gathered here. Riders got to get through the mud and then hit the big hill climb. Jared McClure now in the lead. So third different leader today. Adam McGill still second. And Walker Fowler third. So they're making it tough on Fowler and the Walker Fowler Racing Yamaha today. Can McClure, the sneaky snake, get it done? And good to see him trying to grab this race by the throat and go for the lead here at the halfway mark instead of waiting to the end. And look at the gap he's built up. Just a small hint of McGill back there, almost completely out of sight. Fowler is in third in that bright gear. McGill trying to get up on the side of the bank. And same for Fowler. They're all just trying to keep themselves dry. One of the big differences between our ATVs and our bikes is how much water will splash up on the rider's hands on the ATV. So they can't attack the water, at least not at this part of the game. They'll just completely soak themselves. But late in the race, when it's all on the line, don't expect them to hold back at all. This is Chris Borich on the number 3. He's going right into the middle. And back up through the gearbox in pursuit of that lead group. Lap traffic becoming a factor now. McClure able to negotiate it. And a nice race between McGill and Fowler for second and third. Back onto the moto track. I wouldn't call this McClure's specialty, but he looks very good today. Things are clicking for him, and he's got this nice gap built up. McGill and Fowler still duking it out for second, but they are dueling with each other, and that's just further allowing McClure to pull away. Hordes of lap traffic. Here is Fowler. The bright gear again helping us pick him out, but a lot of lappers between McClure and everyone else, and that's only going to help him. Well, you can see the aggression of Walker Fowler here in the motocross track. He is not giving up. Still believes, I'm sure, that he can get back in and win this one. Let's see what McClure can do with a couple more laps clicking off in the lead. One of the hardest challenges of this type of racing is when you have the lead and you don't have anyone to pace yourself off of, and try to figure out, A, how hard you can go, and basically to just stay motivated enough to keep riding the edge and keep pushing. If you're McGill back there in second, you see he's up riding the bicycle on 2 wheels in these corners. He knows he's got to put the hammer down. Same for Fowler. So on occasion, these two can catch a glimpse of the leader. That's the proverbial dangling carrot for them. If you're McClure, all you can do is keep on doing what you're doing and hope that it's fast enough. There's no way to really know. McClure out of Maryland. Worked his way up to the old stock class. Became a pro and not an overnight sensation at all. I didn't think he'd really get to the point where he could be a consistent race winner, but each year he would improve slowly but surely. And now he's got a couple of career wins under his belt. And honestly, anytime he gets them at this point, it's not a surprise at all. Still McGill, still Fowler, second and third. Man, McClure is just on it today. Every move he makes is with authority. He knows exactly where he wants to put the machine, exactly where he can find traction. There's so many options, especially on this track. One of the other big changes this time of year, the leaves are off of the trees to a significant degree compared to a lot of the other races this year. So the riders do say they can get often a better view of alternate lines. See a little stumble there on the hill for Fowler that McClure didn't have? McClure just picked this place apart. Under the covered bridge, this area known for its covered bridges, so they actually built one atop the motocross track. McClure through that, now headed toward the motocross finish line. Let's see if he can get this done. Walker Fowler has only lost one race this year, and that was in an absolute mutter. This would be a win in ideal conditions for Jared McClure. That would be a big one. Plus, Fowler was leading early, so he has passed him. He has pulled away. But can he hold it on the final lap? You know that Fowler and McGill are not going to leave anything out there on the racetrack. It's win or go home. Honestly, it's lose or go home. It's the final round. These guys are going to give it everything they have.
Are you looking for a dirt bike piston that can increase power and decrease blow-by? Then check out Wiseco's all-new Racer Elite piston line. Racer Elite has been used exclusively by the pros, including RCH, Yoshimura, Suzuki Factory Racing, and are now accessible to the public. Available for popular 250 and 450cc dirt bikes, the Racer Elite series is the first off-the-shelf asymmetrical power sports piston ever made. Its fully machined billet aluminum construction features an exclusive custom lap top ring. Step up with dyno-proven power gains with Wiseco's Racer Elite piston line.
We handle your races, your jumps, and your trails. Isn't it time you give your daily driver the same love? Amsoil's Signature Series Synthetic Motor Oil delivers 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard. Amsoil also offers a full family of ATV, UTV lubricants, giving you above and beyond fortification for your weekday and weekend vehicles. Amsoil, devoted to protection.
Even when you're the best, you never stop striving to be better. The all-new from the ground up 2018 Yamaha YZ450F is now available at LoJack Cycle Sales. With over 40 years of experience in motorcycle sales and service and 15 national championships, we know racing. So stop by LoJack Cycle Sales today in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, and visit our online inventory at www.lojacks.com. Yamaha YZs. It's why we ride.
Over the river and through the woods, the newest Polaris models are here for the holidays. Take home great deals on the world's best-selling side-by-sides and ATVs during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by Amsoil. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
Well, down here with Landon Wolf, man, LW, first time on the 4x4 Pro Class this year and first win in the 4x4 Pro Class.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience. Locked up 6th in points for the afternoon for the Pro Class, so I had a good friend of mine, Dwight, said, give it a shot, ride my bike, so I'm out here on his bike. It worked flawless, and we seemed to have a pretty good race. I mean, I know Kevin Cunningham had some bad luck there at the beginning and broke his bike, but I wish I could have stayed out and raced with him a bit, but you know, I'm happy overall. It was a really fun race.
Well, good work, man. That an indication you're going to race with Cunningham a little bit next year?
It may be. I don't know. I mean, we've thought about it, but it'd be a really big change, and we're just not sure yet. So we got a long winter of thinking coming up.
That's cool. Congrats to Landon winning our 4x4 Pro Class today. That was our 10 a.m. race, and the pros here racing right in the heart of the afternoon. And there are some of the bloopers that the fans here in Indiana come to expect. Even when a rider seemingly has that hill climb solved, there's one little ledge at the top that makes it that much more difficult. And the fans got what they wanted to see. Jared McClure continues to lead our pro race in the XC1 division. Lead was about 12 seconds as the white flag came out. So we'll see if it has grown or shrunk. We're waiting on either McGill or Fowler. There is Fowler. There is McGill. So they're on the hunt, but they're also up against the ropes. Could it be the second loss of the year for Fowler? We'll take a look at the one race he did not win this year. This is the X Factor GNCC in Indiana. It was a full-on swamp, mud and water everywhere. And Johnny Gallagher, the veteran, 23 years competing in this series, finally wins one of these things overall. Now, Johnny G always fast in the mud, but you've got to be fast and lucky when the conditions are this bad. And he was. Fowler led a lot of it. Here he is on the number 1. Number plates are actually somewhat clean because of all the standing water that they're splashing their way through. Crew goes to work. Mechanic Mark Notman with the goggles. Dad with the gas. But Johnny Gallagher, seen here, was able to get around him in a dramatic moment. The last corner could barely even make the turn, but he does. Here comes Fowler in second. Johnny G wins, and Fowler immediately is off the quad to hug him and congratulate him. That is awesome, says our cameraman. They were all impressed with the sportsmanship as Walker watched a 5-race win streak go to an end there, but still congratulate the man who beat him. But I've got some good news for Walker. He's back in the lead here in Indiana. I don't know where he made up that kind of ground on McClure. I guess Fowler is the sneaky snake today. So he's outdueled McGill and has now taken the measure of McClure. Now McClure's not too far back. You see the red and white riding gear. He's still in contention. But when you get near that covered bridge on the motocross track, that means that time is running out. Walker Fowler is now going to be able to think about the one that got away. That victory in the mud by Johnny Gallagher in Indiana will cost him a perfect season. It looks like he's going to go 12-1 in a 13-race series. Walker Fowler headed to the finish line. And he wins the Ironman, and look at McClure right there in second, so close, but so frustrated after leading the majority of this race. So Fowler had that 12-second deficit at the start of the final lap, which takes about a half hour, and he ratcheted it up there, third place. Adam McGill, here are your results. Boric, 4th. Neal, 5th. Good job, Marty Christopherson in 6th. There's Johnny G in 8th behind Josh Merritt. Here's your Amsoil race recap. Well, you give Walker Fowler a whole shot, you've got to figure, he's going to win for sure, right? But it was not that easy. Adam McGill was able to come from behind, take the lead, and push Walker back to second. And then McClure, a big charge, gets the lead, but Fowler able to sneak by on the final lap. A fitting end to a dominant season. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.